Manchester United did have a habit under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer of going there and giving Manchester City a bit of a bloody nose. In fact, Pep Guardiola has only won one of his home Manchester derbies in the Premier League.
Solskjaer a good record because he would often change the system to a back three, which is probably something they should think about doing this week. Although Rannick's had a good 7 days to work with the team to prepare. I know he's trying to get that message across about pressing high through a 4-3-3 system, but I think it's ready-made to change because Maguire needs protection in the back three. It's not given who the back three will be or the wing backs, but I do feel that it's worth considering when you consider the sort of success they had. Spurs they've beaten them twice this season. Man City playing with a back five, so maybe it's a problem for Man City. They are struggling a little bit to break teams down. Lots of teams are sitting with a low block, and it's like quite difficult. Pep Guardiola has been sort of re-emphasising how he wants the ball moved quickly and being patient and trying to find that opening. But it is difficult, and then you kind of point to the fact they haven't got an out-and-out striker. And does that really matter? We've seen them be so successful, but I think it does count sometimes. A little bit lucky last week with the handball that was against Everton. So they're getting a little bit of luck. But when you're the hunter, as Liverpool are, I think it's nicer to be in that position. I've done that with Arsenal when we chased down Manchester United in '98 when they were 10 or 12 points ahead.
12, I think.
Bookies paying out at that point, and that you're looking over your shoulder. We were chased down, of course, in 2003. I think it's better, although you want to be in front, when it starts to go wrong. And going wrong, I mean, it is going wrong because when you've been so consistent as they've been, and you draw a game and you lose a game, that's not quite what you're looking for. So
you like to be the chaser rather than being chased.
Definitely that. And I just feel Liverpool just coming in, Diaz signing. I rarely think of someone who's come to a club and been so effective so early. It's been quite incredible. That's credit to the manager, by the way.
And the recruitment department who did the same with Diogo Jota. I think it's pretty clear the blueprint has been set for how to cause Manchester City problems. Defend diligently. Even Peterborough United managed to keep them at bay for 45 minutes or more in the game on Tuesday night that I was there. Everton showed how it could be done in their game. 82 minutes they lasted. Tottenham obviously beat them as well the week before that. And they did it by the fact that Manchester City press up right on the halfway line. They leave so much space in behind. All those teams exposed the frailties by using a bit of pace in behind. Have Manchester United still got that weapon that they did have with Marcus Rashford previously, who has caused them damage in the past?
Well, he's still at the football club, but he's not the Marcus Rashford of old, and we mentioned that earlier this week. I think, were of the belief that maybe they could be tempted to cash in on Marcus Rashford. I said on this programme, I think he has earned the right to try and get back to his best form, but it's asking a lot for him to do that in a Manchester derby this weekend. Having said that, he has proved in the past that he can be the man for the big occasion. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer always used to roll out Dan James from cold storage for this game. Sadly, they don't have that option anymore. Maybe they could try loaning back for a week from Leeds, but that was because of his pace and getting in behind that high Manchester City line. My concern with this group of Manchester United players is that I don't think they've got the character or the discipline to go there and be able to pull off any kind of game plan for the 90 minutes to beat Manchester City. I just don't see it happening.
They will have a game plan, though, because Ralf Rangnick's had a rare week where he's been able to spend a lot of time on the training ground, drilling his players ahead of this game.
He has. I mean, you look back at the last performance against Watford and they just didn't do it. It seems like the fourth place, you look at the quality of player that they've got, surely it's ready-made for Manchester United to move in and hold that position they're in for the moment.
They're up against it now, though, aren't they?
They are, and I think this game has got so much on it. It's one of those where Man City won't want to look at the local rivalry. Manchester United don't enjoy seeing that dominance being taken away on their own doorstep, and because they were the champions of Europe, and now City are really wrestling that away. It would be three championship Premier Leagues in 4 years, or
3 and 4 years. Yeah.
That was really dominance, and I think City just need to concentrate on moving that ball quickly, 1 touch, 2 touch, and they've got the players to undo Manchester United. But Manchester United, definitely with Sancho starting to improve, can they get a little bit out of Ronaldo? How much defensive work are you asking him to do? There's a chance. There's a fighter's chance because they're good players. It's about getting them motivated and giving them the right message. Yeah, is the manager good enough? In this situation,
you wouldn't pick Ronaldo tomorrow, would you? After a run of 10 games with only just 1 goal.
Not so much that, because
Well, he started off with 14 goals in 20 appearances. He's got 1 in 10 since then.
Form is temporary, class is permanent. He will score goals. He's always scored
goals.
goals.
Well, his class isn't permanent, actually, because as you get older, as Martin has already said, it starts to ebb away from him.
He'll still score goals, but what he doesn't give you is the type of energy you need against Manchester City. We've said before, he's a bit of a passenger out of possession. He comes alive in the penalty area. If you give him a chance, 9 times out of 10, he will stick it away, despite that recent record. I don't think he's actually missed loads of chances. I think.
Can you have a passenger against Manchester City?
No, you can't. That's what I'm saying. So I wouldn't play him, but I can't necessarily tell you who I would play in that position, because obviously Anthony Martial has gone out on loan, a solution that not many Manchester United fans questioned at the time. Edinson Cavani seems to pick and choose his game. Is he fit? We'll probably only find out on the morning of the match. We've talked about Marcus Rashford already. So if you are going to drop Ronaldo, who do you play?
I would look at
it
it
the
the
other
other
way.
way.
With a false number 9? Do you play Sancho up there maybe?
I think you look at it the other way. Ronaldo's been talking about having a partner with him. So you could play with 2 up top. And who's that going to be? Alanga's been quite quick, quite rapid. You talk about pacing to the channels. You could play Sancho. I'm not sure I'm playing Pogba and Fernandes as well in that team. Pogba's starting to pull the strings. So there are some selection issues for him if he wants to change it to a back 5. And who are the wing backs? Who is Luke Shaw? Is Telles now better than Shaw recently? Does Shaw become one of the back 3? When you're looking at those 3 central defenders, you're thinking that maybe Maguire would be best to be sitting in the middle of that and protect him a little bit. People feel he's getting a little bit exposed. But it's about the shape, because you have to concede possession to Man City. They're fantastic footballers. They just one touch, where they just pass the ball. They're quite magnificent. And they will keep probing, looking for that chance. So Manchester United need to be really disciplined, but cutting on the break.
Wan-Bissaka is an interesting one, because he's done very well in this fixture, particularly when he's gone man for man up against Raheem Sterling. I think when it comes to being a one-on-one defender, there is nobody better at Manchester United than that. The counter-argument is, does he give you enough going forward if he did go with a back 3 compared to someone, say, Dalot? I agree with you on Telles, and I think he's much more athletic than Luke Shaw, and again, you need legs against Manchester City.
I think Dalot would probably come into my team, because I think he gives you a little bit more going forward, and he's equally as quick. And we talked about Leeds. To their detriment, this man-to-man marking system has almost finished them off. So it's like you want players that have a little bit of freedom. It's that balance, isn't it? Yeah, it will be hard to beat, but we've got to have that freedom to attack as well.
You were talking about playing a back 3, and you mentioned that Aaron Wan-Bissaka doing a particularly good job against Manchester City. I mean, I was at the game earlier in the season. They played a back 3, Manchester United. Wan-Bissaka played as the right wing back. Manchester United were absolutely awful, and they were very, very fortunate only to lose 2-0 in that game. They were thoroughly dominated by Manchester City. Can you see a situation developing where that happens again on Sunday?
Yeah, of course you can. I mean, I guess if you're a Manchester United fan, you will take hope in the fact they have such a good record at the Etihad, and actually Wan-Bissaka has played well there on a number of occasions. But you just can't trust this Manchester United side. You've used that exact expression regularly on the Game Day podcast. And actually, if you look at their performances under Ralph Rangnick, results are okay. They've only lost once against Wolverhampton Wanderers, but they haven't really produced a consistent 90-minute performance. They played well in patches.
Yeah,
I think you need more than that. You need more than that.
The fixture list under Rangnick has been dreadful in terms of the quality of opposition. You mentioned they played Wolves, Aston Villa twice, Brentford, West Ham, Middlesbrough, Burnley, Southampton, Brighton, Leeds. This is Manchester City. This is his biggest test so far.
Well, it is. It's not a game you have to get up for, but it's are they capable of doing a high press? So where do they try and take the game to Man City? Do they go and press high? Because Man City will try and pass their way out of it. But then does that just leave great big holes? It seems to me that, I saw the Brentford game not so long ago, Man City-Brentford. It was a penalty that opened the door for Man City. So, but the thing Brentford didn't have on the day was any attacking force. So, I think probably the best way to beat Man City is to sit deep, but you've got to have that explosive energy on the break.
And then you've got to take your chances, and they've created 160 chances in the 13 games under Ralph Rangnick. They've scored just 20 of them.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.